Alright, welcome back to the show. We got an excellent 1V today. It's comparison. Infrared versus regular gas burners. We're going to show you what these guys can do. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so these are Pitmaster's premium gas grills. I got these gas grills because I only own one small gas grill. Used to own Weber's for many years and just stopped working with gas for some strange reason. So these are 100% aluminum. This is the reason why I chose these. They're aluminum, and I've never cooked on an infrared burner. Now, I've cooked on salamanders where the burner was up top, but I've never cooked on a gas grill that actually had true infrared. Now, you see a lot of these grills, I'm not going to mention any names, but they say true infrared, but it's just a gas burner underneath with a plate on top to just diffuse your meat. That is not a true infrared. When you see this, these bricks here, so these are basically fire brick, and they have a cover on top of them. These get up to over 1,000 degrees. Gets hot really fast, and nice aluminum body so it doesn't rust. And like I said, I never cooked on this, so I'm going to try this out because in the South it gets hot. So I want to put my chicken, my steaks, my chops on here, and thin pieces. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not really sure how this is going to cook, but we're going to find out today. So you're going to kind of meet me on a brand new grill. Never fired her up before. Now these grates, they're V grates. And the light, they're really shiny right now, but when they break in and get dirty, you'll be able to see. I couldn't tell the front from the back if I want to cook on this side or if I want to cook on this side. And they just drop right down in here. Just like that. So you can come up a level or you can drop them down a level. So let's just put these back together. And like I said, we're going to find out today how she cooks. I can also flip that grate around if I want some good, grill marks on there. But this was designed for the meat to basically stay inside this grate and have the moisture bounce back up at your meat. I don't usually go for gimmicks like that, but hey, it's here. So we're just going to move to the next grill. This is Pitmaster's original gas grill. Let me just look how heavy. This is a really, really heavy grate. Now my Coyote is built like this, 316 stainless steel. This has got to weigh probably somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 10 pounds or more. So I'm just going to put this off to the side, put it right on top of our grill. And they're made and designed for you could flip it this way, and this way your meat's a little bit lower to the fire, and have the other one, which is over here, up a little higher. So you can mix your grates around and have this one higher and this one lower. So that's designed to do that. And of course you have your nice warming rack on top. Nice thing I like about this, it folds. So you can have double the space up here, because a little rack that small, it's not working, and it folds in with you. So it's a very old design from the 80s. This is original gas grills that were around basically from the 80s. From our time, 70s, 80s, this is what the first gas grills that came out. They haven't really changed the design, and I like that. And you don't really see these because, let's look at this. I'm going to close the lid down, and you know what? There's nothing sleek about it. There's nothing aerodynamic about it. There's nothing modern about it. It looks like an old grill. And they're a lot of money. She better cook real good for $2,000. So I'm going to open this back up. And the reason why I bought this is because the aluminum body, and look at the burners in here. That's just one huge burner going around, like an 8. And this all lights up around it as well. Light it up and we'll show you. And it comes with a box of ceramics, flavor bars, that you can just add in here. So we're going to put these in and fire up. So Pitmaster's been around for a very long time, before I was born. And the igniters on here are very nice. This battery in here, this grill actually sat on the showroom floor to a place in my town for maybe 5 years. These things sat. Nobody bought them. They were very expensive. We live in a very small town, and you know, people just don't have it like that. So 5 years later, they want them coming home with me. I got a good deal on them, and that's it. So I love the design to these just because they look so old-fashioned. And years ago, they used to put a window, if you guys remember that are around my age, they used to put a window in here that you can actually look at your food in there. Then it turned so black and turned so dark you couldn't see your food, and there was no gauge. So, and if a gas grill went out back then, they didn't have the parts that they have today, and you had to be kind of, you know, maybe a little well off in life, or lucky, or just wealthy to own one of these things. And Pitmaster has been around for a very long time, and I'm not getting paid for any of this from Pitmaster, and I don't want to take advertisements from anybody right now to do anything right now, because I just not into that. I'm just bringing it to you guys and showing you guys the difference between infrared and regular gas burners with briquettes inside. But they sell these grills at Home Depot that kind of look like this. People will buy them. They'll spend a couple of $100 on them. They'll park them for a couple of years, never use them. They'll clog up with, you know, cobwebs, birds, and whatever. And if you were going to buy some, a grill like this, and they'll rust out, by the way. A grill like this, it's all aluminum, so even if I don't use it for months, it'll sit here and just, it'll stand the test of time. And that's what Pitmaster is made for, to stand the test of time. And that's what we're looking for. So we're going to get these fired up with no further ado. Let's see what they can do. I'm curious myself. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we have our tank installed, and right now we're just going to see if we got flame and take a look at this flame. Let's see what she looks like. Sometimes if it doesn't light and you have it open, just blow on it. This way you're mixing the gases around. So I'm on high first, and I'm going to put my second burner on. And look at that flame. Let's get the light out of there so this way we can take a look at our flame. Look at that. Nice, pretty, blue, even flame. That's what you're looking for. So if it's burning different colors like oranges and reds, now I see a little orange in there, but most of it's blue. And your blue flame is your hottest flame, and that's what you want on a gas grill. So she's cooking good. We're going to finish putting those briquettes in, and we're going to show you the other one. Don't go anywhere. So this is a complete setup to this grill now. It's fully complete. Now I took out some of the fire bricks that they gave me, and I put in some of these nice lava rocks that are in here too. So if your bricks break, you can replace them with rocks. They sell them down at Lowe's, Home Depot, or you can even order them online. I have one grate higher, one grate lower. That's what this grill is set up for, and we're going to test both. And everything's ready to roll. So we're going to show you the other grill, the infrared, and then we're going to get our food on. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we got the infrared ready to fire up. Let's fire her up. There we go. Look at that. It's burning real clear. You can't even see it. Let's get this guy lit. A little blow. And let that spark go right into that gas. Now you can't even see it. We're going to turn the lights off so you get a good look at this. This thing heats up in about 3 minutes. You can see it's starting to glow red. I'm not going to put my hands in here, but you can see the right side of this. It's starting to glow red. So those bricks are starting to heat right up. This grill takes about 3 minutes to come to temperature. You can see it doing it already. Let's watch it for a second. And that is a beautiful sight to see, I have to admit. I can put my hand right here, and I tell you, I can only get my hand to about right here, 1/1000, 2/1000. I'm taking my hand away. That's how hot it is already. On this side, 1/1000, 2/1000, 3/1000. Woo, I'm taking my hand away. So you can literally see those stones heating up and turning red. So I'm excited. We're going to fire this thing up. I'm going to cool it down right now, but we're going to fire this thing up and see what happens. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're going to start with some burgers. That infrared is glowing red. Let's get it on. All right, look at those glowing hot. Now, I'm not going to close the lid with this I'll get 2 on that side and 2 over there. Because I want to watch these guys cook. I didn't close the lid. I didn't let this thing heat up like a normal grill because it's not a normal grill. The nice thing I like about this, it kind of cooks asado style, which is basically Brazilian style. That's what those grates are. They're kind of Brazilian. They are Brazilian grates. And it's funny that a company made in America will put those grates on, because usually you find those on grills right out of Brazil. I have this thing cranked on high, and I can hear that sizzle already. I oiled these a little bit too, and we're just going to give them a couple of minutes on each side and see what we got. The heat coming off this thing is just so intense that I can only put my hand in the fire for a couple of seconds. So I'm going to have to turn these guys quick. Now this grill is claimed for no flare-ups. We're going to find that out too today. We're going to see if we get a flare-up off this grill. So basically, they claim that these grills don't flare up, but I see flames already. I hope it flares up because that's the flavor. But she's looking right. So far, I'm just going to peek under here a little bit. She's looking pretty good. Now, I don't want to close the lid because I feel that if I do close the lid, I'm going to cook from the inside out too quickly. When you have the lid closed, you're cooking these burgers from the inside out. And now I'm cooking from the outside in. Also, this grill is still new, so I didn't really do an official burn off here. And I don't want chemicals in my food. They look like they're going pretty quick. Alright. Let's give them some time. I'm giving you guys some long footage because I want you to see what a true infrared does. I'm even going to cross-hatch them. Turn them to the side. So let's get a little cross-hatch going on. We'll quarter turn. And let's take a look at that. Oops. Let's get that one a quarter turned. Off to the side. And that one quarter turned. I can see all the juices inside these bars, and those juices are going to bounce back onto your meat. Now, for those of you that are wondering, how much fuel does this thing burn? It's wide open right now. I'm cooking real high. So, half the fuel of normal burners. I'll find out, but that's what they say. That you're going to save half the fuel or more. Alright, let's take a look at that. It's still cooking. Like I said, if I close this grill, I'm not going to get any better results, so I'm just going to leave her open. Now I'm going to get a good crust on here, and I'm going to flip it over, and then we're going to meet you back here. A little flame up there. All right. I'm going to flip this one over early. Let's get back here. Now, if you are cooking with infrared, I noticed right off the bat, I should have my gloves on, my high heat gloves. And that's what I'm looking for. That's that flame. That's chuck steak, by the way. We'll include a video and the link showing you how we ground up our own chuck. I put it in a little mold and I pressed them out. And that's why they came out so perfect. But they're a lot thicker than your average burger. So this one here seems to be performing pretty good. They're both on high. Wide open. And as that grease drips down in there, like this right here. So there's my flare up. So, they claim that there were no flare-ups. There's my flare-up. Which I'm happy. Because now I can cook some burgers and I'm not waiting all day long for this infrared. So there's my flare-up. Doesn't seem to be a problem with 4 burgers, but I think if you put, this thing will probably hold maybe 10 on each side comfortably. And you let that grease get out of hand, you could probably catch this thing on fire and have a really bad grease fire that you'd have to put out. So I wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably only throw a few on at a time, because as this starts to cook and this grill actually gets broken in and gets dirty like a grill would do, it's going to build up a bunch of grease and you might have a fire. So I would recommend always probably putting on, you know, with a grill like this, maybe 10 burgers max. But we'll find out. All right, let's see what we got going on. Let's turn them back off to the side again. Now I don't want to make a well done burger here. Get them over. That's what I want, that flame. Especially for a gas grill, because I feel gas grills don't get hot enough. See that side? Not cooked yet, so I'm putting it back on. So far, look at that. So far, I'm not impressed, but I tell you one thing, if this was going to cook like they proclaimed it was going to cook and cook a burger like that, I wouldn't be really interested, because that means that you really can't put anything else on here. With a thick cut of meat, I can at least lower the flames, turn it down, and cook it even, because the grill would be worthless to me if it cooked meat fast all the time, and that's the only thing it was good for, just to cook meat fast all the time. But now that I know it's kind of cooking even like this, I'm happy. And look at that flame coming up, kissing the meat. Now what I'm going to try to do is put everything on this side and see where we are then. To see if we try to get a little fire going over this and try to get a little grease fire and see what happens. Now we're concentrating all the burgers in one area. And what I'll do is I'll shut off this burner and just keep that burner on. Save some fuel. Why not? It's cooking good, but I tell you, nothing beats real fire. I can see now when I break this in, it's going to be a good cooker. It's going to be a fast go-to cooker. How the flavor is on it, I don't know. It smells excellent. We'll strip it into the fire there. And get that one turned over again. Now that one got nice and charred up. So what we'll do is we'll put this one over here. And we'll get this one in that spot. So right away I see a hot spot on here. Let's get that back over. And you know, I'm not running more from the flame. I'm running from the heat of this thing. The flames aren't bothering me. It's the heat. All right. I'm going to pull these, get them inside, and we'll show you what we got. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Let's see what we got. First thing we'll do, we'll get a burger on here, and let's cut into this. So look at that. Now, that one's pretty well done, but it's juicy. You can see the juice coming out of it. So, look at that. It maintained its juice. And we're gonna just try this on a bun. Now, I put these buns on the grill itself too. And it toasted pretty good, fast, like a toaster. And it kept the bun nice and moist. Put that back on there. But you can see that bun, it's not all falling apart and dry. And let's give that a bite. That's a good burger. But I have to admit, it definitely is lacking on grill flavor. I don't know if that's because the grill's not dirty enough yet or broke in, but that burger is extremely juicy. For the money and the fast cook, I'm happy. If I want to get better, I'll break out my Weber. Even the little Smoky Joe Weber, the little tiny one that they make, 14-inch. I mean, it's just, you never beat a Weber. Weber gas grills taste the same, but I say from the infrared, that burger's real juicy. And I kind of want a little more on the well done side just so I could kind of see if I could dry them out. But I'm impressed. Good grill. Pitmaster, you got one on this meal. Let's give you something else, guys. Let's throw some steaks on and see what happens. Meet you right back here. All right, it's time for round two. Let's show you what we have. All right, round two, we've got some chops, pork chops. And we've got some beautiful boning ribeye, along with some homemade sausage. So we're gonna put half and half on each grill. Now, we were gonna put some chicken on, but to be fair and have a fair comparison of this is fair. Let's get it on. All right, we're on. So the first thing we're gonna do is get one steak on to this grill and one chop on. And on this side, I'm gonna get my sausage. Now I turn this side down to low, and I'm gonna put one of each sausage on this side. We're gonna close the lid, and then we're gonna get back to it. Okay, so we're going on the infrared. Let's get our sausage on this side. Now I have this side on low, because we'll burn them up. And let's get our steaks and our chops right over the infrared. Let's see how that does. And what I'll do with this one, I'm going to put it down on medium. I'm going to close it up. We're going to flip them, turn them, meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, on the regular gas burner, we're about maybe 3 minutes in, so I want to see what we got. Wow, I'm impressed. Let's see what she looks like. We're just gonna quarter hatchet, quarter turn, and same with this one. Look at that, we're even getting the flame up on there. Going nice and low to the coal. And our sausage is doing pretty good. I'm just gonna give it a turn. There we go. And to be honest with you guys, I don't like working with new cookers because they're not broken in yet. Things stick, and just be patient with them. You know, they're not gonna cook like a fully seasoned cooker. Meet you right back here. Then we're on to the other cooker. All right, we're about 4 minutes in with this guy, and let's see what we got. I'm giving this one a little bit more, I slowed it down a little bit, just because I don't want these steaks to cook too fast. So I'm gonna quarter turn them. I'm even gonna bring up the heat a little bit more on them. And I want my sausage to cook too. So let's see how our sausage is doing on low over here. And the gas has got a little bit, so got it by a little bit. And I turn this one up a little bit here and just roll that sausage over. And then turn the infrared heat up a little bit more. And close her back down. Then we're back to the other one. All right, normal gas. I turned these over to do the other side because it flamed up. And I didn't want to burn up my food, so right here, it sort of looks like this one's giving me a lot of flame up. I'm going to put it back down there. And I'm going to turn these sausages over. Again. And they look like they're cooking pretty good. So what I'll do is I'll turn some of this heat down on my steak. Maybe at this point I'll take our steak and we'll put it up top. And I'll take our chop, and not really done yet on that side the way I want it. We'll go a little bit more with them, but we'll bring our steak up top. And let's check on our other cooker. Here we go. Look at that. Steak looks good, no flame up. That sausage is no flame up. Now we got the infrared on high and no flame up. So I love the way the gas is cooking. Whoop. I spoke too soon, so I got a little flame up. I broke that sausage. There we go. I'm going to close it back down just to kill the flame up. Let's just get it out of that little flame. And we're going to lower it just a hair. Put it back on low. And close her up. All right, let's pull our other food. And look at those sausages. They're starting to flame up a little bit too. So let's get this chop up top. And let's get our sausage up top. Overall, from just cooking on 2 brand new cookers, they cook beautifully. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn I'm going to turn this grill down. I'm going to put everything on low. And then we're going to pull it. Look at that nice smoke coming from there. That's beautiful. All right, and back to the infrared on this side of the board. Let's show you what we got going on here. She's looking right. I'm going to turn it off to the side, cross hatch it. Same with this pork chop. And just roll that sausage over. Now, the infrared, definitely less flame up. And if this thing saves me on gas, I'll work with it. But how do I like them? I love them. I mean, we're only like 10 minutes into this cook. She's cooking fantastic. We're ready to almost pull everything. I'm gonna get our sausages on low. Just leave them on that side. And we're gonna pull everything, show you what we got. Meet you on the chopping block. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're on the comparison chopping block. Let's see what we got. Look at that. All right, so let's just get into this. I'm gonna start with 2 chops. Now this chop right here to my left is our normal cooker. This is a normal gas cooker, normal burners. And this one right here is the infrared. So what we'll do is that we're just gonna slice it right down the middle on both of them and see what we have. So let's turn those in. Look at that. Beautiful. That infrared is, I could tell right off the bat, it's juicier. I mean, they're both cooked to perfection, but that infrared, that's juicy. Let's give that a shot. So what we'll do is take a piece off the infrared and try that. Wow. That is really good. And I'm going to try this one. I got a piece of char on me, and that's why I'm choosing that piece. Let's give that a shot. Excellent. Now I just put salt on these. That's it. No pepper, no other seasonings, because I really wanted to taste the meat. To give it a fair trial. Now I tell you, it was hard. But if I had to choose one, I definitely have to say the infrared tastes better. The pork has a better flavor. Almost tastes really sweet, like I put something on it. This one, less flavor, more juicy. Traditional burner with the lava rocks. I give it on juice. It's definitely a more moist, succulent piece of meat. Just by a hair. But flavor, hands down, the infrared. Let's get into our sausages. Let's get these off to the side. And we're gonna just get our sausages onto the board. Now, these are the sausages here we took off of the traditional burner. And this is the sausage we took off of the infrared. Now, for a full comparison, I'm going to go half with each. All right, let's give this a shot. Now, this one came off of the infrared. I'm going to bring in its partner, just half of it. And this came off the traditional cooker. That's close. Again, it's real close, but I say I'm going to give it to the infrared. On taste, flavor, and juiciness. Let's give this one a shot, different sausage. This is the regular cooker. That's good. Cook right. Nothing dried out. Look how juicy that is. It's a brand new cooker. It's new to me and I'm cooking on it for the first time. Again, I'm going to give it to the infrared on both categories. On juiciness and flavor on sausage. I'm impressed. Let's get these guys off to the side. I mean, look at that. They're just cooked. These are homemade sausages. We're going to show you guys how to do that in a video down the road. And I've got acres to attend to. So sausage making is more of a winter thing for me. All right. We're gonna get all these sausages off to the side. And last but not least, let's go with our steaks. I bet you guys are curious to see which is which, but I'm sure you can tell. Traditional cooker, infrared. Look at that. Right off the bat, I'm looking at this. Again, just salt. All I did was salt these meats. And I'm looking at this one. I got that nice char on there, if you like them charred up. I like them blackened. Blackened on the outside and nice and rare in the middle. This steak right here, it gave a restaurant look. So let's just slice right into it, because it just looks like it's just something you get right at a steakhouse under a broiler. Look at that. Medium rare. And let's slice into this guy. Look at that. Show the inside of that. Medium rare. It's just a different medium rare. And they both look excellent. I mean, all day long I'm a char man. And this just looks like it has that char and that flavor. This looks like it's cooked perfectly. Let's give it a shot. Infrared, cuts like butter. Juiciness, real juicy. Wow. That is truly on point. And it tastes just like it came out from a restaurant broiler. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that was cooked on a $10,000 broiler. And let's give our traditional steak a shot. See, that char is unbelievable. You're not going to really beat that char. Look at that, blackened on the outside, pink in the middle. Ah. Wow. Very, very different. Tastes just like a restaurant. Those burners give you more control, just like a restaurant burner. And this is more like a traditional grill cook. Old school, 80 style on that broiler. And that's what it tastes like. It brings me back to 1979, 1980, when steaks were just cooked bloody as can be. Charred on the outside and just very rare in the middle. But if I had to choose one steak, it's a tough one. I'm gonna give it to the infrared because it's a much more flavorful piece of meat. I think on the steaks it's a lot more juicier, but you can't beat that char. And I don't think you're gonna get that char with this unless you lower this a little bit more closer to the fire. That particular grate doesn't go down to the fire. Drop it down to the fire, you'll have an excellent steak. So the only thing I can think of, take it right off that infrared burner and throw it right onto the normal burner and get it charred up. Probably have dynamite steaks. All right, that ends our conclusion. Hope you loved it. Let me get situated here. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. Pork chop, steak, and sausages. And a comparison, infrared versus regular burner. And I think today infrared won. So if you like this show and more shows that are about to come, please hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little bell so you get the notifications first. That's where you get them first. Again, thank you for coming. We enjoyed having you. And with no further ado, got to get a little Pitmaster taste there.